ESA Summer 2019, that's a good call. Okay. So today I want to do a thing that I want to do hopefully more often in the future. I don't know how serious I'm gonna be about it, because I can't really make myself stream a lot in the recent past, as you might have noticed. But basically, this is some kind of a show. I initially had the idea to just, I don't know, look at a run that was done in the past week, talk about it, kind of analyze what was going on and why people did it, and just enjoy it together. Today we're going to do something a bit different because there's not much running going on at the moment. So the first episode of this, hopefully a few others to come, is going to be about a rather old run from 2 months ago, which is impressive, just like any other runs. And today we're gonna take a look at Savu's 1602 from 2 months ago. 2601. I don't know why I said 1602. I'm gonna leave some music on because I want to mute the stream and just talk about it. So I hope the music is fine. You can hear my voice and it's soothing and calm and everything in the background. So I don't have a sick overlay, so all I'm gonna do is put it in the title, and so the title of this one is gonna be "Why is Savu's Tier 3 so amazing?" We're just gonna watch his Tier 3. I'm just gonna point a few things out for everyone interested. So this is the run. The first thing I want you to notice is his Vijun 2 time right there. It's a 1649. He's currently, in this run, he's 9 seconds behind his PB. And more importantly, he is more than 30 seconds behind Arrow's PB. Okay. So Arrow's run at this point is more than 30 seconds faster than he is. And he will finish the run within something like 6 seconds of Arrow's run. Okay, that's the first thing I want to point out. So you all know Savu's probably known for his Tier 3 for the most, I guess. And why is that? First of all, that's because he is probably the most consistent at the hard tricks in Tier 3, namely Rift and Hevel. And Rift is the first one you're gonna see. And like right here, you can already see once he's gonna do the trick. So he swings really far out. The problem is this is Twitch, I can't skip easily, but you can see he swings really far out. And that's like already one thing Savu does a lot. He doesn't angle change more than he needs. So just a beautiful rift, a rift skip. And so I want you to notice something in particular, and that's something that you're gonna see later as well. That's Savu's Stuker usage. So there's no speedometer on the screen, but when you see how far and fast he goes after these, like especially this one right there, the second one, and then this one. Look at this one. And then he's gonna do another one. He's gonna do an EB Stuker. Look how far he goes. I mean, that looks lame and boring, but that's just so well done. And then this chain is just, I didn't know you can even go on the left here. It's really comfortable chain. You guys should all be doing it, I guess. Okay, then Hevel. Hevel is the other one, which is really amazing, I think, to watch. So once again, he swings really far out. He just only goes left. And then look at this setup. So that is to save force. That is to save force, and then just smooth single left turn, goes over 46 force, and then this. I haven't seen anyone else do this. I'm not like super on top of everything currently, but just like doing this. Perfect crouch climb timing as well. No unnecessary getting speed here because it's unnecessary, as I said. And he's gonna do another Stuker here, which is really nice. It's just, I don't know, it looks so easy. Like this Stuker in particular, he just gains a ton of speed. Okay, that was Savu. And I want to point out, all of these are within less than 5 seconds of the Sona best times. What a Stuker again. He even gets the quick random boost. So that random boost in the corridor is not so random. You get it with good consistency. So it's always worth it to go for it. Don't crouch climb that one. I mean, you guys probably all know that. It was a bit of a mistake, that roll. So what he wanted to do is, since I'm gonna somehow point a few things out that may be not clear to new players and so on. So what you want to do in these corridors, especially the ones with the very narrow, the very low ceilings, as you can see, is you want to tap crouch. And in JKA, when you tap crouch after you do a single jump, a non-forced jump, you will be stuck in this weird crouch animation, even though you're not holding crouch technically. And the weird thing about it as well is that it's going to end before the jump ends. So you will never roll, or you will not be in a crouched animation when you touch the ground. And that's what he was trying to do there. But he did it a bit late, and then he still got a roll. Double mind trick. Didn't lose any health. I really love this, by the way. Like, this is one of the most underrated things to do on these kind of levels. Like, these small optimizations. Like, how much does this chain save? It's a single E boost into like a roll, and he even almost gets the perfect angle. If you get the perfect angle, you roll past that tiny ledge. You don't bonk into it with rolls with the roll you do afterwards. It's really fast and really cool, really fun. That's a nice saber cancel. So, a thing about tier 3, I think this game is so fantastic when you keep in mind we kind of divide this run in 3 parts. We call it tier 1, tier 3, tier 2, and tier 3 because the developers did. Oh, that's so cool. Quick flicks with the camera. And the cool thing is about tier 1, tier 3, and tier 2 and tier 3, they challenge you in completely different regards. Even though the movement in the game is completely the same, the timings of your jumps are not. And then jump cancel timing is different. The way you angle change is different, and it's like super different. Okay, I want to stop here again and talk about this first. And I think this is the reason why certain people are so much better than at one tier than at the other, because they really like particular levels. They really master the one technique, the one jump cancel timing, and then the other tiers require different kind of mouse movement and so on. And this jump chain right here is another good example of what is good to do in tier 3. Because in tier 3 your jumps are really long usually. You have high force jump. So for example, Hevel skip, the big jump over, is a single turn. You never angle change. And you can see in this chain right here, Savu does not angle change. Left, 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 and then he goes right after the jump is already over. So he just goes left as long as he can. Okay, this is also really cool. This is something I don't do. I do 3 tapped crouch jumps here. What he does is this is a thing I learned in my when I did the IL. I can't slow this down, right? On Twitch. I can. Oh, this is cool. I can slow it down. So this is somehow you use the momentum of the slope or it's not a slope, against the ceiling there, and it doesn't cost you any speed because it's somehow parallel to your momentum anyways. So in this corridor, it's extremely hard to do this chain. Like, probably people watching have tried this chain at some point. He does drop the EB there, and that's like another thing you can fail with this chain. The way I do it is I just do really, really short hops with these kind of coils afterwards. But this is a really cool way to gain speed, because the problem in this corridor is when you come from the bomb right here, boom, he does a jump from here, and if you do that, then you have a lot of speed, and you don't want to have a lot of speed. So he's basically too fast at this point. He needs to overturn to go around the right. And the slope right there, or it's not a slope, what is it even? I don't know. The wall conveniently points in the right direction to go. So all you need to do is just let yourself get hit by it, and then it's going to push you in the right direction. And you can also do it while you enter the exact same spot there. Uh-oh, what was that? I plugged something out, apparently. Maybe the webcam, I don't know. Oh, that's such a cool continuation as well. Really cool. And then tiny double E boost chain right there. Keep in mind that even when you don't jump, an elevation boost still is faster than a non-elevation boost, because you don't instantly slow down. Okay, this is another thing about Savu's style that I want to point out. So what he does, his circle jumps go, as I said, he doesn't angle change much. His circle jumps always go in one direction. And what he will do is he's going to take a step back or look very far left. Right there. See how far left he looks? That's a common mistake for new players. New players, when they want to go straight, they're going to look in a 45-degree or a 30-degree angle away from where they want to go. And then good players, when they do a circle jump, an initial circle jump, they always look 90 degrees away from where they want to go. Look there, like he could have just continued, but what he does is he looks like really deep into the wall to get a lot of speed with the first jump. Again, that's the same kind of circle jump. That's a shorter one because he doesn't need as much speed. But yeah, that's also something I really recommend people trying out. It's like trying a different circle jump. Or optimizing their first circle jump, wave jump, whatever. In Savu's case, it is actually a circle jump. That's just perfect curving right there. Oh man, I love that glide over the bomb. It's so nice. Again, there. He has like these really particular setups where if he wants to continue a chain from walking, then he's gonna look really far left or right. Okay, that's a mistake. That's the first kind of big mistake, which costs like a second or two. Everything else was really, really smooth. Didn't get Boba, and I think that's because he had blue style, am I correct? Yeah, he has blue style. I don't know why he uses blue style. I really don't know. He probably has a reason though. This is not random. This is definitely on purpose. Okay, look at these ones. So right there, this is a really, really cool way of doing this. So what he does is he taps S for a really, really brief amount. There. I don't know if you can see this. So he kind of goes back a bit. And that way you can line yourself up perfectly to land on the very, very back of this. Because you need to run on this in order to get enough speed for the first circle jump. Then look, the entire jump is just without a single angle change. This is like, I could not do that. I mean, I could, but I don't usually do that. Okay, that's 2 rolls. That's a bit unfortunate. Yeah, he's core supportive spin to win. He doesn't do the Patenta Vrindar E-boost to the store. Easy. So another thing that's interesting in my opinion is when you do a jump that is supposed to go upwards, like this one, it really helps when you start the jump without holding W. So this is an A jump. He holds A. That's why this animation is so weird. And the reason for this is that it's much easier to cancel your momentum with A and D for some reason than with W and S. And I think it's because you can actually see what's going on, but maybe it's also because it's differently programmed. I don't know. But I also do this. This is a really common thing. Also on VGN 3, he does the same thing. He releases W while jumping through the door in front of the double cultist in Druid Room. So I'm not a fan of this roll, but it's still fine. Look at these circle jumps. It's like really, really unique style. And I think this is also the reason why, I mean, I talked about this earlier, in tier 3, since your jumps get so long, you basically, you can curve in one direction for a very, very long time. The levels are really open, and curving in one direction is beneficial in tier 3. That's why the way he does circle jumps is kind of beneficial to his tier 3 movement. That was also, by the way, really smart to pull that guy instead of pushing him, killing him like some people do. That was a bit of a risky jump because there was a potential quick climb, but you get lucky, so. And then you have more than enough time for this. Once again, this is like the Paten Savu wave jump. And I really, really advise people that have issues with getting speed to look at this kind of wave jump technique. So look at this. Stops, looks like really far left right there. Looks like 45 degrees. Usually if he needed more speed, he would look here even. He would look even further towards 90 degrees. And then this is the perfect spacing for the jump. It's just, I don't know, it's just signs of experience everywhere. Whoops, that's not good. No E-boost here, I really like that. He should have put away a Saber though. But still has enough force for the instant speed. Okay, and then you can really look forward to these two. So I honestly think at the moment Savu, or at the time of this run, probably still now, Savu is the best core 2 player in the world. Like, I mean, it's kind of funny to say, but this core 2 is just, he's like 1 second faster Summer Best, like, no, sorry, not one, he's like multiple seconds faster than my Summer Best. I mean, this trick is just beauty, so I'm just gonna shut up. I don't know how that worked, but whatever. I'm gonna give him that. So he has a 26-25 core 2. It's completely ridiculous. But look at this turning. Like, this is Prasco level tier 3 turning. And so as I said earlier, in tier 3, since you jump so long, angle changing is very bad. It's not beneficial to your jumps. In tier 2, the jumps are short. You usually want to do the angle change at the top of your jump, but in tier 3 you never reach the top of your jump, so it's not really necessary. And this is like, so Prasco is probably the player with the lowest sensitivity that I know. I mean, I've never seen Vrindar play, but Pascal sensitivity is extremely low, and Savu's is not. Savu's like a wrist player. And for that, like his... Look at... Oh no, I want to not watch that? No. Just want to watch again. So some people, for the very first jump already... So this is just a short hop for the setup. This is pretty much what I do too, and what I think people should do. You need to find your sweet spot for this jump. And even if you overshoot it, like he did there, like he went too far, he realized he needed to take a step back there. And then, okay, it's a very quick setup because you don't need a lot of speed for this. If you get too much speed, you need to overturn hard left. This is just a good setup, but I really want to highlight this. So from here, you won't see an angle change. Look, boom. Not a single one. Until he's over anyways. This is, I don't know, this is like as close to the reason why his tier 3 is so good. In one sense. Again, bridge jump, not a single angle change. And then okay, his sabering is like really good for some reason. I know how he got so good at sabering, but yeah. Yeah, and then keep that in mind and re-watch this again. Like, look at the Stukering. So I think there was a slight W release right there. I'm not sure though. Yeah, this is this was like a few months, like maybe a month later than Arrow's 25, right? This is also cool, jumping on the railing there. But yeah, I mean, just like with Arrow and Tier 1, like what's just scary for me, honestly, is not only how smooth these things are to watch, because I think all of the good players can do an incredibly smooth level X, like an incredibly smooth Rift, a really smooth Hevel, really smooth Core 2. But it's the consistency. Like, Savu just does this every single run. And that's like that's the scary thing. Like, especially Arrow's Tier 1. Like, he's just not gonna make a mistake. Like, he gets flat 8, sub 8s 10 times in a row. And I think that's, I don't know, that's kind of what I wanted to talk about today. It's, where does this come from? And it's, the reason is, when people are so specialized on one thing, it's because it supports their style supports the kind of part of the game. Because really at the highest level, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 are really, really different. Sorry. That's, I don't know, that's still one thing I wanted to show you today. I don't know, hope it was interesting in any way. The next thing, or I mean, something I also wanted to do is, so there was some things happening this week. One of them is Zimcho. Oh, it's actually not even improved. So Zimcho's tier 3 Rift, IL, and I think that's really cool because I think people have some level. I don't know. So Rogue, for example, is forever going to be my baby. Like, I'm just always going to grind that. But Rift, I mean, he did Rift because I did Rift, I guess. Like, he wouldn't have got this run if I didn't go for it. So that's the first thing I want to say. Just encourage people to, do runs yourself, and that's gonna make other people do runs, and that's something. Yeah, that's something to keep in mind. And this rift, my rift is not very good, but I think this one, I watched this like 3 or 4 times already, and I'm gonna watch it in full speed first. So this is the run right here. So rift is basically one big chain, and then the end is kind of easy. Okay, so when you've grinded this level for a while, you know what it's all about, and it's exactly this, nothing more. This part right here. This is what determines if you lose 10 seconds or gain 10 seconds at the end. So it's the overturn. So maybe for some people who are not really aware what overturning means, in this game there is a perfect curving angles chain. No, sorry, curving speed you want to be moving your mouse at all the time, okay? If you move it too slowly, you're just gonna not gain speed until you hit the sweet angle that you're supposed to be at. And that means you're simply going to gain speed slower, okay? So there's always an angle you want to be looking at. And if you just don't look at it fast enough, then you're just going to take a bit longer and you're not going to gain much speed. However, if you turn too fast, and that means overturning, okay? Just turning faster than the optimal strafe speed, curving speed, then you're going to lose speed. And more so, you're going to do it in a weird way where, since the curving speed is also dependent on how fast you're currently going, you need to adjust your overturning, okay? I don't know if that makes any sense. But basically, the problem with this level is that there's a huge ass ceiling right here that you can't hit. If you hit this, then boom, run's over. IL's over. You want to be entering this tiny area right here with as much speed as possible. The problem is, you're going so fast. Unfortunately, Simtra doesn't have speedometer, so I'm going to ban him for this as well. But you're going about 1,000 more or less UPS here. 1,100, 1,200. And the only way you're going to hit this, because the angle is so slim you can move at, you need to overturn really hard left. And that in a really short amount of time, you want to be overturning left in order to change your going left and not straight anymore. And additionally, since you want to continue the chain, you don't want to be overturning too hard, because otherwise you're going to be slow as fuck afterwards. And the perfect speed going into this cave is something like 900, okay? So you want to overturn hard at the beginning, and then once you know, okay, I just got the sweet spot for entering the cave, you want to be curving with good speed again, with the perfect strafe speed, in fact, so you want to be gaining speed. And I think this run, I mean, obviously it's the best so far, but this run gets really close at what is optimal. And I think that's really interesting because I think this run is really hard to beat. That's what I wanted to say. Long explanation short. I think this run is really hard to beat. All the runs before weren't really hard to beat, but I think this one is really hard to beat. So the beginning doesn't matter. So you just land somewhere here. You can also land on this. It doesn't matter. You just do a hop instead of a force jump, 5 force jump here. So this is a good angle. So when you get close to this, you know it's a good angle, and you want to be going as much right as you can, so you have as much space as you can to go left. And then this is fine, and then this is what it all comes down to. This is where the overturning starts. You can already see, if you have like somehow a schooled eye, you can see how that camera doesn't align with the character, and you're losing speed. There you go. And then this is where the overturning stops, and the perfect curving starts again. And then this is just a beautiful angle to enter the cave, really. And then corner clip there, okay, that's like some swag luck. And then this, I don't know how you got this, honestly. The last boost, last spin glitch. This one, yeah, that's nice. So also another thing you want to do is you don't want to hit the stairs, because they're going to be coasting your speed, since it's a slope boost, and if the slope is pointing towards you, like, it needs to be pointing away. The normal vector of the slope needs to be pointing towards your moving direction. So not hitting that slope there is really, really good. But I don't know how you got that. Does like 0.1 second spin or something. And then it just somehow lines up perfectly that you land on the perfect spot here. Take a step right, that's really good. This is a slow boost here, tiny one. But I think that the exit, yeah, you have good speed, but this jump is bad. This is like one thing you can improve. Because there's a crazy overturn here you're doing. Because you have too much speed. This is good. This is good, but too far. See, like you're going too far. You want to be landing here so you fall into the exit faster. But it doesn't matter. Like this close to your point 0.1, 0.2, and the perfect overturn in the beginning gains you all the time. Like the 0.4 you saved on your actual PB here, or 0.3, whatever it was. So yeah, that's a really nice run done actually this week, so that's really cool. I think this is a really good IL. I think we have some incredibly cool ILs now, like some that are actually really good. Yeah, hey Muffin. Didn't say hello. Yeah, you can... That's true. I didn't mention this. I also have a video on my computer somewhere. What you can do is... Maybe this one? Yeah. Yeah, what you can do is you can land... how can I actually show you this? Maybe like that? Yeah, so, okay, so this is one of the attempts I recorded when I was doing this IL. What you can do is you can land on this statue right here. And the statue has a weird hitbox where it's like kind of sloped towards you and then sloped in the other way. And sometimes you get ridiculous speed because you get an overbounce, or it's like a slow boost. I don't know if it's a slow boost or an overbounce, honestly. But you can hit the back of the statue and then you go incredibly fast. And you can see how I enter the cave with 1100 even though I fail beginning. I mean, this was just a bullshit attempt. I didn't hit this properly and then boom. I may even have another one. Maybe not. But yeah, so that's about Rift. I could do some shameless advertising because the other IL that was done was by me. It's the bounty one. And let's actually watch that, whatever. So I put a lot of time into this. Oops. And there's a few things about bounty as well. So bounty is like a culmination of a lot of different tricks that you do, difficult tricks that you do in a row. So the thing about bounty is doors. So these doors, they work in Academy and in Quake generally. They work in a way that there's the guy placing a trigger in front of it, and when you enter this trigger, they're going to open, okay? And sometimes the guy's lazy and puts the door trigger a lot further away from the door and just makes it big, and he's like, whatever. Sometimes he's really... he really wants to annoy you and puts the triggers close to the door. And in this case, the triggers are relatively close to the doors. So what you need to do is, you need to hit... In order to not bonk into the door, you need to hit it at the perfect... And I can't stress how important it is, at the perfect fucking spot, okay? So... Even this beginning chain, if you don't hit this at the perfect spot, the door's just gonna fuck you over. Okay, then this is easy. There's the other thing I mentioned during Savu's run you can do here, and that is you can intentionally bonk into this wall because it aligns with where you want to go. Otherwise, you have to kind of slow down. This is what I do here. So I just let myself get slowed down, and then I can do a single wave jump. This is a really cool thing that Muffin, I think, taught me. Maybe even at GDQ, I don't know. What you can do for some reason is if you look exactly this angle, so if you look right or left, it doesn't work. If you look exactly this angle, you're going to instantly quick climb. For some reason, it's going to quick climb in the middle of your jump, like this. So I'm going to slow this down. No, let's watch it at full speed once, actually. I'm just going to stop jumping around in it. YouTube is fucking annoying. And then this is really the biggest chain in Bounty. This is like the make or break one. And that is like the one thing I'm not happy about with this run. That chain went badly. Like a lot of time I was not curving at the good speed because I had to correct my jumps. But you're going so fast that it doesn't really matter. And then this is the other mistake in the run. Kind of mistake. Boba blocking a wave jump. And then the actual mistake happens in the last room, which costs like half a second, which is really, really pissing me off, but whatever. But I even hit this one, and then I missed this ledge. I have to do another hop. But the RNG it's so rare that Boba just has the disruptor. And also I land on the 650 flat total playtime, which is kind of cool. Okay, so let's talk about this IL. So the first thing you do is when you reset, the screen goes black, okay, right here. This is because I've restarted into the cutscene. And the timing for this is really, really peculiar. So you can land on 0.01. 0.01 would be saving you the most time. So technically I have lost 0.06 seconds because of bad vid restart timing. But, I mean, who's gonna reset for that? And then first jump is basic, as I said. The only thing you need to do is you need to curve out far enough so you hit the door at a good spot, at a sweet spot, and then this is just a standard EB chain, but I just spin because it's just a thing. It's somehow like spamming APM in StarCraft. It's just like a thing you want to be getting used to. It's just like the spin, constant spin timing, releasing and pressing left mouse button and so on. It's just, even if you don't need it. And this chain is already, this is the second big chain. Problem with this chain is, as I mentioned already during Savu's run earlier, you don't have much space and you need to overturn hard here to go around the corner. And what you do, and you can look into the no board, you're gonna, every time you hit the ground, you hit control really briefly. And it's gonna make you get stuck in this animation. See, like I'm currently crouching even though I'm not holding control. I hope you can see this. The control key is not pressed. And that's because you do a non-force hop and you tap crouch. And for some reason it does the same thing as in Mirror's Edge. Like I always wondered why this happens. Maybe some of you guys have an explanation, but you enter in this weird coil animation, and the animation also ends after the jump. And it's really convenient at points because it prevents you from doing stupid stuff, and it also prevents you from rolling. You can just buffer a jump out of this. And then this spin here, this one, can be followed up with another one. You can actually, if you hit it with a good angle, which I did not here, I angle changed at this point. You can do another spin in the other direction, and then you can hit the thing there, and then you can get another boost. But there's a big downside to this because you're so fast. You're gonna land here, and then you have to do another wave jump back. So I'm not sure if it's even worth it to go for the second one. And I was feeling the chain so well that I simply realized I'm gonna get at this really nice spot here, and I can do the perfect curve into the door here. See, that's like a really good wave jump right there. Okay, and then this jump, oh, I can't tell you how much I love this. So what you do is you curve out right really far, and you need to be doing that. Like, if you want to do it fast, you need to kind of flick 180 perfectly in a very, very short amount of time. So this is already slowed down. I'm gonna show you how it looks in real time. Boom. So you basically flick your mouse right, the exact amount you need to flick it, and then you gotta curve back left, and then that way you can hit the door with a spin. And that only works when you don't angle change, by the way, because you can't do another spin. If you angle change, then you can't do the spin. The spin is shorter. See, boom, there's the spin, and then you can get another jump out of this. Really, really sick. And then, okay, this is really basic. This is just finding your... This is basically... It's funny how JK2 is similar to spin in some ways, because the only way you're limited by it is not where you're supposed to jump, but it's the how you set up your next jump is important when you do spin glitch. And I've somehow found out that here is an invisible wall. You can't see it because it's invisible, duh. And I somehow found out I need to get close to the invisible wall, because that way I can dodge the next pillar, this one. And that allows you to hit this door at a good angle. And this angle is actually really, really precise, because if you jump too high into the door, you're going to get stuck here. You're going to do a weird force whack where you grab the wall. You probably know this. You can also bonk into the door. All of this is bad. And then the really big one is this one. So here you see me overturn really hard. Look at the speedometer. I'm going to slow down again. Hey, Saito, by the way. This is already overturning. So you can see how there's a lot of plateaus and even points on the speedometer where the graph goes down. See, 182, 187, 900, 870. See, so I overturned so hard. The reason is I need to be hitting the platform here. I can't go further up. If I'm too far up, I'm gonna bonk into the door. You can't see the top of the speedometer. You're completely correct, but you can see the number. I can remove this thing for a tiny bit, but I don't want you guys to see all the URL and tabs and so on. This was for GeoGuessr, so hey, Gravy. Can't really butt the top of the buttometer, dude. The buttometer. Okay, so you need to hit this corner or this platform at this spot, otherwise you're just gonna bonk into the door. And I'm really unhappy with how I did this. It was a bad chain. Again, you have to overturn. You're losing enough, even more speed, as you can see. I'm going down to 820 here, and then 830 here. So a lot of bad jumps. No gaining speed at all until this point again. This is where you have space again. And then this was also really unfortunate that I hit. I wanted to surf down here, but I hit it a bit too early, and then oh well. So this is a really beautiful flick camera turn. This is an air strafe. This is what's called an air strafe. It's when you run off a ledge, holding space in the air, and then you get an e-boost off the air strafe. Boom. Really cool. Okay, so for example, here is an example where you can see I spin and I have no intention to jump, because when I jump, I'm gonna bonk into this corner or into the door. But regardless, it's gonna be bad, okay? But spinning is still better than not spinning, because the speedometer goes down slower. See? Like this is a slope that you get when you don't buffer an elevation boost, basically, or a spin glitch jump. And if you don't spin this, it's gonna drop down instantly. It's just gonna be completely instantly. There's no decay. It's just gonna go down to 250 pretty much instantly. Right there, you can see these two. These two are no EBs, no spin glitches, and they're immediately dropping to 250. So in an ideal world, you would also spin these two. This one, but this one is hard because you do an S, you do a wave jump. Spinning wave jumps is pretty damn difficult because you need to time your saber swings so well. Okay, so this chain is the final hard thing. Actually, no. The second hard thing. This door has an even more bad trigger. And getting this corner clip. Oh, so beautiful. I didn't expect to get this. I would have finished the run and probably stopped playing even if I didn't get this, but I even got this. And then when I did this run and I saw this shot, the disruptor, I was like, dude, the stars just aligned. There's no fucking way I'm gonna fuck this up. I know this is the perfect RNG. And what you can do here is you do one of these coil jumps that I talked about earlier. This is the coil jump. And if you don't do the coil jump there, if you just hold crouch over this corner, if you don't hold crouch, you're just gonna bonk it. Like, it's not bonk, but you're gonna hit the floor and you're gonna drop your speed immediately. So you need to crouch. And if you hold crouch here, then you're gonna roll right there. This is just gonna get you a roll. But with a weird coil jump, you can buffer a jump and it works. See? And then this is the only mistake in the run. Damn. Boom.